Welcome to the Sliver and Bite podcast. I'm Chris, baker, entrepreneur, and big business survivor. Here we will explore the challenges of entrepreneurship and flick the switch on self-discovery in order to carve out your own path. So join me on a journey which will hopefully enlighten, entertain, and educate. Welcome to the second episode of the Sliver and Bite podcast. Let me just take a moment to thank you for your support. I have received such a positive response to the first episode, much so that I've committed to rolling it out to the major podcast platforms. It was so rewarding to see my logo on the likes of YouTube Music, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Let's get into this episode. We're talking about personal branding, and the reason why I featured this topic in the Sliver and Bite trailer was because every great entrepreneur has a distinctive personal brand. You may know these global entrepreneurs: Martha Stewart, Tony Robbins, Simon Sinek, and Nigella Lawson. All entrepreneurs in their own right. And you'll notice they've got one major thing in common. They all remain faithful to their personal brand. In this episode, we will explore the differences between a brand and a personal brand, why personal branding is important, recognizing your personal brand and whether you're living up to the brand you want, and how to go about changing your personal brand. Let's start with some definitions. Brand. A brand is a product or service that has a unique and immediate recognizable identity that distinguishes itself from others in its industry. Personal brand. A personal brand is the consistent perception or impression of an individual based on their experience, expertise, skills, actions, and or achievements within a community, industry, or the marketplace. One way to look at these two definitions is that a brand is an identity of an object, and a personal brand is based on an individual. Brands broadcast being customer-centric, accessible, they're well-known, visually recognizable, they're popular, they're valuable. Some of these qualities can be adapted to your personal brand, but they're qualities that tend to be a little cold. A business brand doesn't have feelings. It can't grow without the qualities of people with personal brands. We all have a personal brand. Many, in fact. Whether you subscribe to the philosophy of it all or not. In some cases, brand and personal brand mesh by either naming their business after themselves or their services are based on their influence, such as life coaches. What I find interesting with the personal brand definition is the perception of our experience, expertise, skills, actions, and or achievements. It just goes to show we can put so much effort into broadcasting our personal brand, but the way it's perceived by others is out of our control. You have to remember, it's human nature to seek approval and acceptance. But people's perception or opinion is none of our business. If you concern yourself with what people think, you won't progress. Your personal brand will constantly change based on the aforementioned experience, expertise, skills, actions, and or achievements. Each time we create an action and live the outcomes, we are gaining experience, which adds and strengthens our brand. We also have many subsets of our personal brand. There is your personal brand at work, where you are goal-oriented and completing tasks efficiently due to a deadline and meeting the boss's expectations. Your personal brand at home, where you can be a little more relaxed and not live up to your public personal brand. Family, where they rely on your opinion or enjoy debating politics. Friends that enjoy the camaraderie of who you were. And the nip to the shop personal brand, where you show little emotion because you're in a rush to get home and have little time for chit-chat with the checkout clerk. Whilst they all feed the same personal brand, there are certain qualities that emerge in these different settings. Why is a personal brand important? Your personal brand creates credibility and a reputation, but also provides yourself confidence and a sense of purpose. People are drawn to authenticity. If you are living your most honest life, you will exude confidence. And this will permeate through to your business ventures and create solid connections which lead to opportunities. In each action we take, whether it be in our personal life or business development, we live the consequences, be it positive or negative. These actions feed the beast that is our personal brand. For example, I am a knowledgeable and experienced cook. Here's a little Sliver and Bite spoiler alert. Some of the YouTube cooking videos are first-time cooks. I give the appearance that I am knowledgeable about the recipe because I researched the recipe, the method, and its history. This satisfies the experience, expertise, and skills required to portray my personal brand. Because it's genuine and delivered with confidence, it assists in creating credibility, which pumps up my confidence and sense of purpose. If I weren't confident and knowledgeable, why would anyone want to subscribe to my real-time cooking channel? Recognizing your personal brand and whether or not you're living up to the brand you want. The key is to be aware of the actions that create your personal brand. If you aren't living your personal brand, you may need to redefine your goals and figure out your destination. For example, when I was working in hospitality, I was living their brand, carrying out their actions that created their outcomes. This was a large reason as to why I had to get out of big business, because you're seldomly able to be your authentic personal brand. I was a slave to management, the staff, and the guests. I had no choice but to do what was best for them. When the penny dropped in relation to simply being a pawn in the larger picture, I had to remove myself in order to create my own brand. So the question is, are you living your personal brand? Are you happy with the direction you're going? Are you content with the goals that you've set for yourself? And are they adding experience that strengthens your personal brand? By no means am I advising you to hand in your resignation and start a small business. But here's some food for thought. How long until you realize you are stuck in the bureaucracy? Is your goal truly achievable? And how long will it take you to reach it? What are the variables of your goals within this company? Have they considered your best interests? And are you truly happy? This is coming from my experience in a range of different roles and positions across large and smaller businesses. How to go about changing your personal brand. First off, what do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? What do you want to become, and what do you want to stand for? You need to create the right mindset and figure out your destination and redefine your goals. This will start you on your journey. When I was in hospitality, I was striving to become a hotel general manager. comparing the experience I would have had to have gained for hotel management to preparing food and sharing via YouTube are vastly different. What makes you unique? Rediscover your value. You'll have to take a journey within. Being honest with yourself can be challenging. You're going to have to cut the crap. You can't do a deep dive if you're not honest with yourself. Who are you? What makes you you? What makes you rare? What makes you special? Why are you better than everybody else? Immerse yourself with new or existing people and places. This is you re-establishing your audience. Who are you going to surround yourself with? And are they going to assist in propelling your brand forward? This is where you may lose some people in your professional and personal life. You've got to create a narrative. This will coincide with your destination. This narrative is the new storyline that you're writing and the achievements that you're working toward. Now it's time to prove that narrative. Put yourself out there. Strengthen your personal brand with walking the talk. Broadcast the new you. Whether that's in person or via your socials. Together, both will achieve the same goal you're striving for. Your rebrand will take time, and there may be casualties. Not everyone will like your new direction. You're evolving, and not everyone will be ready for their own rebrand journey, and they may not understand your new direction. Initiating a personal rebrand may be scary and confronting, as there is a good chance you will be leaving the comfort of what is familiar. Many personal rebrands are born out of a major realization or life event. Just know, if you're being honest with yourself, you are well on your way to recreating your personal brand. Just like in The Lion King, when Mufasa speaks of the circle of life, apply this to your personal brand. Start by using your nose to draw a circle in the air. At the top of the circle, you put your name. To the right of that circle, place actions. At the bottom of the circle, place outcomes. And to the left, experience. Then you circle back to your name. You take action, which provides outcomes, which leads to experience that creates you and your personal brand. Each time you spin around the circle, you're strengthening your personal brand. It all seems so simple when you hear it in a podcast. However, this is where the real work begins. My personal rebrand at its core took a year for me to fully feel comfortable in myself. In that time, I had experimented with being a vegetarian, I quit smoking, and I had several personal and professional casualties, as their principles simply didn't align with mine. Thanks for joining me. I hope that you have benefited from this topic and gained some unique insights from my experience, investigation, and observations. For those of you that have subscribed, you will be notified of my next podcast. Until next time, stay positive and keep seeking knowledge. See you soon.